Hi, what's going on guys? It's Almond. Welcome back to another Wizard101 video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the tier 5 spells that you get from Loremagus. Now, eventually over time, I maxed out all the spells that you get from Loremagus, and of course, I made a video already talking about how to defeat Loremagus in 2024, so you guys can see an updated guide on how to do it if you guys are like brand new to the game and stuff like that. So there is that already on the channel. But I wanted to make a separate video talking about the spells, kind of what I did with the Dbop spells where I maxed them out, and then of course I did a video regarding Lightbane, and eventually I'll do the same thing again with all the other key bosses. So give it time and I'll upload a video regarding every key boss, of course. So if you do enjoy this type of content, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all type of stuff. Join Discord if you guys haven't. I think at the time recording this, we're at like 640 members or something like that. So I appreciate everyone that's been joining, and there's a lot of guides in the Discord, so it helps out if you're brand new to the game as well. And there's a lot of people in there are literally generous and are down to help with anything you guys need. So thank you to everybody that's in the Discord and does watch the channels as well. But let's start off with the fire. So the fire, we got Brimstone Revenant, of course. So tier 5, it gives a 30 trap. Now if you start from tier 1 to 4, it's just a 25 trap. So basically it does a hit into a trap, so or hit and then places a trap. Now it does require a school pip, and you know, so in total it does a good amount of damage. Now I think the spell, it's all right. There hasn't been a reason for me to use Brimstone Revenant in such a long time. Luckily this isn't PvP banned, but I would like to see some separate path for this eventually down the line and do something interesting with it. But the card art looks nice, of course, but the thing is with tier 4 and tier 5, the only slight difference is that it gets a 5% increase on the trap, and depending on how you view it, it's really good. As I think especially in PvP scenarios, that 5% trap can like make or break a fight, depending if you actually use Brimstone Revenant. But in like PvE, I mean, you just do Blade AoE unless it's challenge mode. I mean, you can use this in challenge mode. I can see someone using this in challenge mode or like a boss rematch because it's not level locked, so this is still viable in some sort of fight. But you know, it requires you to have the spell and everything like that. But yeah, the interesting thing with Brimstone Revenant though is in regular PvE you can still enchant the trap. So for example, if I had a potent trap or something like that, as I'll show gameplay in the background, I can potent trap the Brimstone Revenant. So if you want to have a 40 trap, for example, you can do that, which is interesting to see. Of course you can do epic enchant, of course, and you increase the damage to like, I think it's like 700 something, which is, you know, damage is damage. But has there been an actual reason to use the spell at the moment, at least for me in max level? No. I can see someone using this though, like in low level PvP or something like that, because there is no level lock, like I said, on these spells, so you can just kind of free roam with it and do whatever you want. But in actual challenge mode or anything like that, there hasn't been a reason to use it, so it's okay. I don't mind maxing out these spells, but there's one spell on the list that I really did want to max out, which we'll get to towards the end of the video. But that's like my basic general census on Brimstone Revenant, which is, hey, it's still a cool spell regardless, and you know, it's one of the like couple lore master spells we had back in the day, so I'll give it that. But let's move over to my life, because my life has Luminous Weaver. Now Luminous Weaver has been used so much in PvP back in the day. I feel like I don't see it as much right now, just because like the meta is a bit different, but I saw a lot, and I mean a lot, of Weaver, because all people would do was just spam this over and over and over, which is crazy to say. But eventually time gets passed and they PvP banned the top path. So eventually down the line we got a bottom path for Luminous Weaver, where it basically gives you a blade and it also gives you a healing blade. Now you can't enchant the healing blade, so for example, if I use like a sharpened blade, I can't use sharpened blade and it'll buff the healing blade. It doesn't work like that, but it will buff the life blade, so instead of it being a 20%, it will become a 30%, which is some interesting tech. But you're not really using this in casual PvE, and same thing for challenge mode. I think I can see someone using this in some sort of challenge mode, which is weird to say, and the only reason I'm saying that is because the fact is that it does give you 2 blades, and for some reason if you're like in a certain fight and you have to use a hit to like either destroy a weakness or something like that, and in return to getting 2 blades, you can use those 2 blades to cover up for your Storm Scion or something, and literally that would be nice to see. But it's some weird tech. I don't see it happening like that often in challenge mode. I don't think I'm making a strat anytime soon that requires you to have a Luminous Weaver bottom path. But in PvP, I feel like, I mean, the spell is still good, don't get me wrong, but I don't really see it being used as often anymore because the fact is they banned the weakness path. Because before, back in the day, people just spammed the living crap out of it. So hey, Luminous Weaver is still doing Luminous Weaver things, but who knows? I hope to see someone do some type of blade stacking strat in PvP where you use Luminous Weaver to get the extra 2 blades to do a Storm Scion or something like that. You basically do, you play Storm, but you also have life pips, so you can use Luminous Weaver, break a shield, and then you also get the 2 blades and then hit them with the Storm Scion, catch your opponent off guard. Who knows? But it's such a tech that like requires a little bit, depending on who your player against is like. So who knows? But at the moment, Luminous Weaver, is it like a needed thing right now? In my eyes, no, I don't think I'm using it. Same thing as Brim. Brim is like very niche. Brim is like a good finisher. Like if I want a fast animation spell that does like solid damage, I do sometimes use Brim, but I don't see myself ever using Luminous Weaver, at least at the moment, which is kind of weird to say. So, but yeah, you can enchant it with the epic enchant. You can sharpen enchant it, but it only sharpen enchant the blade, not the healing blade. So like the actual damage blade will enchant, but not the healing blade. Now we move over to Keeper. Now Keeper is a buggy spell from what I've been hearing, because I'm kind of confused at what they were thinking when you do a certain enchant with this card. So now we're on my myth, and let's look at Keeper real quick, right? We go to Keeper right here. Does 430, and it does a 35 chromatic chap. So you're probably wondering, what the hell does chromatic mean? I don't know what kind of terminology you're using. Chromatic means is whenever I use this spell and whatever school I am, it will give me a trap for my school. So if I use this on a myth, for example, because of course I'm on my myth currently, it will give me a myth trap. So it'll give me a 35% myth trap. Now, if I use this on a fire, which I'll show in the background, it will give me a 35 fire trap. It's not a universal trap, which I hope to see like some sort of symbol down the line for meaning chromatic. Like, obviously I know what that means, but I would want them to add a symbol just for chromatic so players don't get too confused, because I've seen people mess up on certain things in the raid or something like that because they didn't know that certain spells meant chromatic. So hopefully down the line we can see some sort of meaning for chromatic, just like a symbol. But this spell, when you potent trap it, for some reason it does a 30% or 36% trap. Now I don't know if that's intentional, because Potent Trap, what it does is it gives you 10%. Now it works fine with Brimstone, but for some reason on Keeper of the Flame, it just breaks the spell and it just only gives you a 1% increase on your trap. I'm pretty sure that would eventually get fixed. Is it something on their list? No, because all it does is affect no PvP scenarios, so like, you know, casual play or something like that. But in challenge mode or like PvP, they don't care about it, because who's using Potent Trap in regular like questing on their Keeper of the Flame? You know, everyone's going to be using it with Epic Enchant. So that's why it's just like, it's not on their list, but it's still an interesting spell regardless. Of course, you can use your Epic Enchant, you can Potent Trap it, but it's only going to give you 1% increase, so I wouldn't recommend doing it. Hopefully down the line this gets fixed, like I said. But yeah, it just breaks the spell. I don't know why. But yeah, Keeper of the Flame, really good. I can see some people still using it in regular PvE. Not really. Have I used it in any rematch or challenge mode? No, not at the moment, because really people don't use school pips as often in challenge mode. Now there is some tech with the Pinewood deck or like the starter deck where you you limit your copies to force yourself to get a school pip, but even then I haven't had a reason to use Brimstone, Luminous, or a Keeper yet. So these spells aren't like that much of a priority in my opinion. Of course, if you're doing PvP, you will have your own answer. As I state always in my videos, because PvP has their own situational things where people do sometimes use these spells in lower ranks, because the fact is these spells aren't level locked, right? So the fact that they're not level locked is for that reasoning. I can just have them. So it's interesting to see. Now let's look at the last spell that you get from Loremagus, which is the famous spell Lore Master. Lore Master always will have a special place in my heart, regardless, right? Lore Master has been like one of my favorite spells since I first started playing the game, right? It's up there. Is it my favorite spell of all time? No, but it's up there with like I'd say like top 7, right? It's really good. Of how busted it was back then, and now like how many changes we've had to Lore Master is wild. But here we have Lore Master. I haven't tiered it up yet because the video in the background you'll see I've already tiered it up to tier 5. But what path? Why is there 3 paths, Almond? Because if we look at all the other paths, well, not 3 paths, there's 2 paths, but there isn't a 3rd path, is what I'm trying to say. So if you choose the regular tier 1, which some people do leave it at because it's not PvP banned, the top path, bottom path, and just the tier 1 is not banned. If we're comparing it to Luminous Weaver, well, the top path is banned for Luminous Weaver. So with Master, it's interesting. Master used to be so busted, so busted. People would just spam Master in matches back in the day. I don't see it as often now, with all the changes now with the Rochambeau and everything like that. But people would just non-stop spam Lore Master. People would non-stop do Lore Master into a gaze over and over and over. And it was a meta thing, right? It was a meta thing, don't get me wrong. But like time flies, things change, of course. So when that happens, things just gotta get changed. Now, what path would I choose for Lore Master? Me personally, I always choose the bottom path. That gives a weakness, right? Because it's not PvP banned. I like having that weakness. It's good for me. Now, the top path is good if you want to play an RNG game. Now, in regular PvE, would I use top path? No. In regular PvE, would I use the bottom path? Yes. The bottom path, because at least it gives a weakness and I can save some stuff. But I haven't been using Lore Master in regular PvE. But if I did choose a path, it would still be the bottom one. Now, I do wish that there was a middle path and that they would like PvP ban it, which would just increase the damage and give me a weakness and a mantle, like a 15 weakness and a mantle. I don't know if they will ever do that, but I hope to see that one day where we can have a middle path for Lore Master where it does keep the weakness and the mantle, but just PvP ban it. Because I know they don't want to keep that at tier 5 because it'd be busted in PvP, but I would kind of like to see it for just no PvP scenarios, because if that was the case, I would 100% always choose the middle path, because if I'm not doing PvP or advanced combat, I would use that Lore Master, the middle path, because there is some fights where I can use it just to cheese some stuff, which would be interesting to see. So that's why I sometimes do keep my spell at tier 1 if I need to, right? Even though it's not used for damage, it's used for the mantle and the weakness to set up certain things. So that's why I'm hoping one day that they do add a middle path and just PvP ban it, and I would be happy. But if I had to pick a path, I would 100% choose the bottom path for that weakness. So there's that. And like I said earlier in the video, the way that you get this is by farming Lore Master. Of course, it's a gold key boss, or the Loremagus boss. I mean, yeah. And there's already a video on the channel of how to do that fight. So if you guys want to, go farm that boss. Go farm it. Go get your gold keys. There's already a video on the channel of how to farm gold keys. It's in the Discord as well, because I know players do ask me. But yes, it's already in the Discord. Everything's in the Discord, right? I try my best to put as much things as I can in the Discord one at a time, and not just overwork myself by doing everything in one day, because that would cause me to delay videos. But that is it for today's video. There is another video coming out later today regarding Pirate 101. I didn't want to just upload a Wiz video or just a Pirate video only today, and then players would be like, oh, where's the Wiz video, or where's the Pirate video, etc. So for today, we do have a Pirate 101 video later coming out today. Be on the lookout for that. Kind of a short video, but hey, at least I'm back on Pirate 101 just for that video's sake. Who knows, down the line I will upload more Pirate 101 if players want me to. That is it for the video though. Hopefully you guys got a better understanding of the spellman paths and give you guys a better insight on what path to choose for the Luminous Weaver and the Lore Master. I mean, Keeper in the Flame and Brimstone are just going to be just one-way paths, but you guys can get a better understanding if you guys want to farm these spells or not. And luckily I did record some gameplay, like I said, on the Twitch side of things, and have it all pre-recorded for you guys in the background. So nice to see and nice to have. And yeah, from what the general census is, a lot of players do like that. I do these breakdown videos of these spells so they can kind of understand what they want. And of course, you guys can craft these spells as well. You can craft a tier 1, but if you want to upgrade it, you have to farm Loremagus. So that's one thing to consider as well. But that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all type of stuff. Join Discord if you guys haven't. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.